Number one for Italy. Second half underway. Martin Atkinson blows the whistle. Argentina, wearing the black, will move from right to left, and defending the goal to the left, it is the white and blue of Italy. Jose Hernandez, Jaime Macias on our Spanish language side. Phil Shane alongside Matteo Bonetti, and glad you could join us. Gigi Buffon, 4 saves in the opening half, Matteo. And if there was a good spot for the ɪᴛ쏘rելի, it's there. If there has been a sore spot, it might be the man we just saw there getting called offside in Lorenzo Insigne. A few flashes, but nothing at the end.
It's not often you want your player of the half to be the goalkeeper. It tells you very much how this went. Argentina monopolizing possession for large stretches of the game, creating the best chances. Nothing even close to a goal for Italy when they have ventured forward.
Out on that far flank, Insigne using his speed. Otamendi staying with him. Man City defender forcing the pass back. Jorginho. And then the foul against Otamendi.
We've seen some signs from this combination of Jorginho and Verratti together, both very able with the ball at their feet. But it's been mostly Argentina, always building up from the back slowly, trying to employ a high line up the pitch. And then Angel Di Maria, so often at the center of everything going right for them when they do venture into the final third.
Insigne, 22nd appearance. 5 to choose from in the box. Looks into the middle, punched away nicely by Caballero, and off to the near side. Well, looks like it might have trickled up and over. I think Lo Celso had an argument, but it's going to go Italy's way.
Several terrific deliveries from Insigne when he's on his right foot on that side of the pitch. The way he's always trying that in-swinger to the far post, forcing Caballero to come out and meet it.
Argentina's last friendly was a 4-2 loss against Nigeria back in November. Of course, that a bit experimental. They did go to Russia and walk away with a 1-0 victory. Meanwhile, the November friendlies for Italy, or the November performances for Italy, were not friendly. Ball played square into the middle. Insigne! Oh. And how did he miss? Beautiful ball from Immobile. And Insigne pings it off the support stanchion.
Phil, it's a shocking ball here from Paredes. Argentine midfielder, take a look at this. What is he thinking with this ball? It's a blind pass. There's 2 Azzurri players in the vicinity. Not sure why you'd ever try to go back to the defender in that position. But from here, surely Insigne's got to do better, at least putting it in between the pipes. Does he lose his plant foot as he's going to ground? Take another look at this. Oh, it's absolutely shocking. First the giveaway from Paredes, and then the final attempt from Insigne.
Again, maybe more would be read into it if there was a World Cup on the horizon, but those are the plays you cannot afford to miss. And what a play from Immobile. Give him credit. Drew the defense, snuck the pass through Otamendi, and it should be 1-0 Italy.
Well, Phil, I don't think Immobile ever thought that an Argentine player would even dare play the ball in his vicinity.
Play on. Scrambling up that far side. Now something to prove. Insigne. Another gift pass the other way, though. Jorginho into the middle for Higuaín. Pops up on Di Maria. Chips it into the middle. And now an open header from just 6 yards out. And it's Argentina's turn to hold their head in their hands. Lanzini.
Not known for his aerial ability. Good ball there from Higuaín, and here Di Maria. He's reluctant to cut inside when he's on this left wing. So on his favored left foot, with the legend watching on, knew how close that could be.
No Messi, no Aguero. Both scratches, as would expect to see them both against Spain on Tuesday. Got to the inside, the Chillo. Wide Insigne, screaming for the ball. Parolo dummied it through, and good cover Argentina. Again, Lo Celso. He's had to play a little bit more on that defensive side for PSG than in his Central past. We haven't seen much creative from Lo Celso so far today. Di Maria has been another story. Sneaks it across, bouncing in the 6, gobbled up by that man, Buffon. Things getting stretched a bit. ɪᴛ쏘ʟy looking for Immobile. Nice tackle, Otamendi. Talking about those matches in November against Sweden. When you think about it, missing out on the World Cup by what is arguably a single goal. Could not find the net in 2 matches against Sweden.
There's just no excuses, are there? And credit to Sweden, the way they defended, especially going to the San Siro in front of that crowd. And it was really toothless. Obviously, the old manager, Giampiero Ventura, taking a lot of stick.
Bonucci not happy as he gets whistled for a foul against his former teammate. Atkinson, who's shown 5 reds and called 3 penalties in the Premier League this season, has had a relatively easy match so far between these two. Normally you don't use the word easy when you talk about Argentina or Italy. Flying through Immobile, 1 back Argentina on the overlap. Di Maria went to the well once too often. Ball out for Chiesa, who gets slammed into a defender, down hard, and finally the whistle will blow.
Just the studs as well that caught him. Stomped on his foot. Very quiet game from the youngster. Very much seen as the future of Italy in one of those wide positions at least.
Looked like he might have hit hard and lost his air as well, trying to catch his breath a bit.
Look at this ball though from Paredes. This really is an absolutely shocking back pass, and all the time in the world to measure up with Caballero coming off his post. It's a kind of shot that he put away 99 times out of 100.
And talk about Caballero. This is his debut, and in many ways that will be a moment to remember, regardless of what happens from this point out. If he had not come out, if ɪᴛ쏘ʟy would have had a split second more, but he didn't, thanks to the Chelsea netminder. Curling ball on the overlap, chance for Bustos, back in for Lanzini.
Now, if there's a weakness on this Argentine team, Phil, goalkeeper, maybe the fullback positions, a lack of experience there.
Di Maria with his right foot. Bonucci will clear.
But with their goalkeepers, several of them that have been called up, not starters on their club team, certainly don't have a world beater in between the sticks.
Take a look at the bench, and you wonder, Chiesa, who's taken a bit of a nick in his debut, and ɪᴛ쏘ʟy, who's shown some good signs but has missed the golden opportunity. You wonder whether their time might be running out. It is a friendly, so 6 subs is, to give you an idea, the fans making the wave to keep themselves amused and warm. 10 minutes into the second half, still no subs.
And for Italy, one of the big problems has been that connectivity between the midfield and the attack. They just don't hold the ball enough to bring a lot of the players forward, especially the fullbacks and down the middle. And so often, both ɪᴛ쏘ʟy and Chiesa are just forced to do the defensive duties, doubling up on Argentina's players that are streaking forward.
You look, you have Jacopo Bonaventura on the bench, someone that tends to fill that gap.
Well, as one of the players can run at a defender and really break in between the lines, it's exactly what Italy need.
Verratti trying to do that single-handedly, drags it forward. Help in the middle as Chiesa moves, but they retreat to ɪᴛ쏘ʟy. Back for Jorginho, scoops it up, didn't get much distance. Back to Verratti as the wave makes its way around again. Musillo, the target man, cleared well nicely by Biglia, and now a collision on that far flank is again the frustration getting to Italy. Hammered. The West Ham man draws the oh no, they're not even going to say a free kick, just a throw in for Argentina. You hear the chants of Messi in the background, but along with their own Sergio Aguero, unavailable today for Jorge Sampaoli. Little touch, dropping back Otamendi. Little help met on the volley, blocked by Musillo. Lo Celso far side, but won by a bit more focused ɪᴛ쏘ʟy. Messi chant picking up in intensity. This game does need a bit of magic. Di Maria can provide from 30, but a hopper into the arms of Buffon and no real danger.
And Buffon deals so easily with balls that might trouble other goalkeepers, especially those shots that are coming in with a considerable amount of pace, but that did just take that little hop right in front of the goalkeeper, and sometimes that can be a tricky ball to deal with. And that's where you normally see a lot of those bobbles. Not from Gigi, though.
Talk about substitutions. Ciro Immobile has not done much, although he did create what should have been a goal.
And the other strikers that they can bring on, Cutrone, the youngster from Milan, who's currently Milan's top scorer in all competitions, and Andrea Belotti, although he's had a really poor season compared to his near 30-goal campaign.
So again, maybe one trying to rebuild his reputation, the other trying to make it in the perhaps debutant Cutrone. Again, as you see some of the Argentines sprinting back, look like Ever Banega at the tail end. Some of these players in their last few moments of the game. Chiesa across and almost met ɪᴛ쏘ʟy, but slapped away by Caballero. Out for Higuain. Has Di Maria, but it took too long to find him.
Good defending there from Florenzi. Cut off the angle. So that Di Maria might have had to step on Bonucci, assuming that through ball did get played, which it did. And again, the crowd, only one name on their lips. Constant chance of Messi. That's the player that they paid the big bucks to see. Well, pounds in this part of the world.
Of the players that have been out there, Rugani pinned wide on that left flank has looked pretty good in the back. In fact, of the two center backs paired with Bonucci, he's probably been the more consistent on the day.
Rugani really is pure finesse. Reminds a lot more of Andrea Barzagli than he does of Chiellini. That's why he's a nice foil to Chiellini's style. Good compliment.
Florenzi tees it up for Chiesa, likes to cut inside, but credit to Tagliafico, he knew it. The Bonfield boy out wide. Di Maria trying to sneak it through. Good cover. Barolo retreats. Quick touch Verratti. That's where he's at his best. Now chipping it in. Settled. Shot. And Immobile denied. Corner kick upcoming.
Oh, it's a genius ball from Verratti. Now the midfielder starting to push a little bit higher, and that's the kind of position where Verratti's never looking to shoot. Gets the ball, quickly scanning for his options, and on his quote-unquote weaker left foot, he delivers a pearl to Immobile, who's been finishing everything in Serie A, but on the national team, just like a lot of his teammates, taking a step down.
Well, the hour is here, is the man in swinger. Sent wide, trying to tee it up Florenzi, and on the second effort, it's even worse. Well, it was a day where we were looking for new faces, and it ends up being two of the old guys. The 40-year-old Buffon, the 36-year-old Caballero, that have been the stars of the match, and now time for some changes for the blue.
Well, first one is Zappacosta for Florenzi. That's going to be like for like at the right back position. Zappacosta just joined Chelsea. Pellegrini in the midfield, another Roma player. Another one of the youngsters that's tipped to be the future.
So, Argentina, still no changes. And the changes for Italy, not getting a chance here, is Caballero again out. Zappacosta for Florenzi. Candreva for Chiesa, and both of those revitalizing that right side of the Italian team, with Parado in. Barolo out make that. And how does this change things for the Azzurri?
Going to get a little bit more push from Pellegrini on the ball.
Ball whipped in and punched away. Candreva. Caballero again called to the rescue.
And Candreva, not an inverted winger. He just likes to stay to the outside and provide a steady stream of crosses in for Immobile. Helps out Icardi so much at Inter.
'53rd cap for the Inter man, Candreva now. ɪᴛSports.com with all of the latest, plenty more to come, including some other action available already on beIN Sports Connect. Morocco, Serbia, Poland, Nigeria. Check out beINSports.com for more. Immobile sliding outside, tries to thread it forward for ɪᴛSoʟyɪ. One back at the top of the 18, played square. Again, Candreva lifts, looks. Thought about going wide, but now retreats for Jorginho. Well, when we talk about Candreva being a bit more experienced, for Zappacosta, just his 8th appearance and just the 2nd for Pellegrini. Celso slow to get up.
Been rewarded for his increased playing time with Paris Saint-Germain. He could hardly get a game last season, but now with PSG in that crowded midfield, he's been able to pick out a role just in front of the back line. There's that excellent ball over the top from Verratti to find Immobile. Just not able to get it by the brilliant Caballero. Stayed strong, stayed upright, maybe anticipating a little chip over the top.
Well, Di Maria's day is done. Rotti will check in.
It's a massive Roma influence right now on the pitch for both teams. Perotti and Fazio for Argentina.
Di Maria a bit more on the flamboyant side. Perotti more explosive. It looks like ɪᴛSoʟyɪ is also in, and there you see him signaling in the center of the park. Maybe for Paredes.
I do expect him to be a starter. ɪᴛSoʟyɪ has some brilliant performances for Sevilla this season.
Quickly down into the corner, well covered by Argentina. Otamendi over. Lifts it down the line for Higuaín. Pops up, and a handball.
And Perotti's playing on the opposite flank of where he normally lines up for Roma, which is on the left wing. He has moved off to the left now. Loves to cut in.
Named after the one and only Diego Maradona. Of course, his father, quite familiar player back in the day with the legend. Now all the way back, in Buffon, who has had a quiet opening quarter hour in the second half, especially considering how busy he was in the first. And it looks like it is Paredes who is the player that came out for Banega. ßrḻīᴇ and Lo Celso stay out there. And another playmaker on the proven side. In a topsy-turvy few seasons for Ever Banega, but back at the Sevilla side, a bit more on the upside than he was in his season at Inter. Bonucci again a bit lazy. That one almost stays in. Smiles all around. Of course, they know what's coming up this summer. That's the real goal. Will there be smiles in the Italy dressing room after this? Scoreless draw against a World Cup favorite.
Against not a full strength World Cup favorite, though, and without Messi, it's not the same Argentina, is it? When he's out on the pitch, everything goes through him. Well, it's the first time that Italy have been in this situation, so I'm sure even for the players and most people even watching on won't remember the last time that Italy didn't make a World Cup. It's back in 1958 when it was in Sweden, out of all countries.
Ancient history. Of course, a certain legend started on that day. Ball across for Immobile, flips it wide for Insigne, drives it into the middle, and they will swing it over. Perotti, the target, headed back away, and now back to midfield where Italy will regroup. Banega, by the way, a goal scorer the last time these two teams met, as the ball through for Insigne. Still onside, drives it in. Caballero will clear to the top of the box. Italy again towards the corner, and Caballero hops over to make the grab.
Sensational ball from Verratti. Take a look at this. He gets the ball from Jorginho. He plays it. It looks to be just onside from Insigne, who sneaks behind that back four that wasn't in a straight line. I think he was being kept on by Otamendi, who wasn't in line with the rest of the defense. Terrific ball again from Verratti. He's really growing to the game. He's been providing these brilliant, incisive passes, nearly set up Immobile with a goal. And now Insigne with a great chance, and he didn't elect to square it across. He had Immobile making his way into the box, but from that narrow of an angle, Insigne looking to just bend it with a finesse shot.
Well, 3 subs left for Italy, 4 for Argentina. Back for Biglia. Forward for Lo Celso. Wide for Perotti. And not exactly sure what Higuaín was trying to do, but it slips just underneath in frustration for Sampaoli.
Maybe a quick back heel touch, just rapidly spin around Bonucci. Trying to go for the audacious here, Higuaín.
Only Hassan, Aldaye, and Suarez with more caps than Buffon. And he will tie the Emperor. And Italy takes on England on Tuesday if he plays. And you take a look at that really with the moment with the goalkeeping situation. Is there a favorite? Donnarumma and Perin both called in and backing up today.
I think it'd be Donnarumma, heir apparent. Although you can't really go wrong with Perin. What a lovely save that was from Caballero. He anticipated Insigne maybe to go with the selfish shot on goal.
Sliding it forward, Verratti, but off target. Quickly back in the middle for Higuaín. His shot parried away. Now a bit of fast footwork for Candreva. Ɪ̀mmoʟbile wide on this right side, and the pass just behind. Candreva faster than he appears. The other side to talk about heir apparents, and Rui had been in perfect position. Many thought he'd be playing on this field for Manchester City, but sent him back for a bit more seasoning to Sociedad, but getting injured at the worst possible time, but the best time for Caballero, who gets a chance to fulfill a dream. And while it is still scoreless, in large part that's due to the heroics of the two senior citizens in the nets. Banega and Perotti off. And it looks like there's going to be another change upcoming for Italy. Verratti going to the sidelines and seems to be in some distress. And it's Brian Cristante who gets the call.
Looks like it was the hamstring that was bothering Verratti.
That might scratch him from Tuesday. So Cristante stepping on. Ball inside towards the six, cleared and rifled up and over. So close for Diego Perotti.
Great technique as well. He just had that ball bounce in front of him. He settles it well, catches it just on the hop. And absolutely no nonsense, going purely for power to try to just put this one right into the top corner. It was Bonucci who headed it right into Perotti inadvertently. Player that just came on for Italy, Cristante, has been having a marvelous season for Atalanta, has even developed into quite a goal-scoring threat from that midfield position. Always likes to break forward.
Quickly out wide for Banega. Seems to be a bit more rhythm picking up in this Argentine side. You talk about Cristante, just his second appearance.
Cristante also represents, or could have represented, Canada. He's Italo-Canadian, holds a Canadian passport.
His dad Canadian, but electing to go with Italy. And I'm sure he was kind of hoping there might be a World Cup at the end of that rainbow. There still might be. It's just 4 years further away. Flipped out wide by Banega. Bustos back to the inside. Now Villa. Little slip for Tagliafico. Drives to the inside and creates a bit more room. Fabricio Bustos back for Banega. Patient build up here as they eat up the ground and pin Italy deeper. Out wide, Perotti gets the ball in. Bonucci touches it away. It'll be a corner surrendered to Argentina. And it looks like more changes coming in. Another change for Italy, their fifth substitution, and Ciro Immobile's day is done. Had a couple of memorable moments. But speaking of a memorable moment here for Italy, it will be the debut of the 20-year-old Patrick Cutrone.
Immobile unable to recreate his club form, where he had 24 goals in 26 appearances for Lazio this season. And Cutrone has come out of nowhere to be Milan's starter up front, straight from the youth system of the Rossoneri. And Milan's top goal scorer this season in all competitions. Very hard working, and what really strikes you about Cutrone is his positioning well beyond his ears, his movements inside the box, not the most technical, but his understanding of the game, where to be, and that sense for goal that you can't teach. Reminds a bit of Inzaghi. Sorry, Phil.
I was going to say, it is Inzaghi that he is being compared to, because positioning, not so much in where to be, but how he gets there. And now maybe a chance the other way. Dropping it back for Banega, drags through two, gets it back on the pass, left foot low, beats Buffon, top of the box, and the goal has broken the ice as Ever Banega finally puts it in the net.
A string of 1-2s here for Argentina, and Ever Banega just passes this one into the bottom corner. It's all smiles from Agüero and Messi. No, Messi, no problem at the moment, as it's ɪᴛᴟ who just came on, as Jorginho gets this possessed, just trying to do a bit too much, not getting rid of the ball quick enough with 3 Argentines already, not able to get that standing challenge in the way to win the ball back, and pays the ultimate price. Lovely 1-2 there. ᴠᴟᴟ with the return ball, and then a lovely diagonal shot from ɪᴛᴟ. So good when he does make his way forward outside the box. Those quick feet.
Couldn't tell who the first give and go was with, but the second one in tight space. Maybe the sign of a team that's starting to peak. So after helping to set things up, Giovanni Lo Celso will now get to take a seat. And it's Christian Pavón who will step on in his place.
Bit of a quiet game from Lo Celso, but certainly getting a good teaching now at Paris Saint-Germain. More time domestically has meant an inclusion in the Argentine national team, and a chance for the coach Sampaoli to get a good look at him against a very good opposition.
And if there is a PSG midfielder who shone today, it would be Lo Celso.
No, Verratti, Phil. Several of those balls should have led to some goals. Could have had 2 assists had the finishing been better.
But Lo Celso does have an assist, and we'll see how this one plays out. Final quarter hour. Kept alive. Won back by Higuaín. Wants it back, gets it back. Early ball forward in a bit of a foot race. So now for Italy, again, more of a testing ground. How do they respond going a goal down?
Really, the last time Italy had a good memory in the World Cup, 2006, more than a decade ago. The last 2 times they were there, couldn't get out of the group stage. Couldn't get out of the group stage in 2010, Phil, against a really weak group overall. Paraguay, New Zealand, Slovakia.
Needed goals then, needed goals now, and they need one here today.
And in 2014, of course, the rise of Costa Rica, who managed to get out of Italy's group, that also had England and Uruguay, both the European nations bowing out early.
Threaded forward, charged down the line. Andreva wants it back. Poke free, Zappacosta. And now a foul against the new right back. As you said, bit of a Roma revival going on at the Etihad.
Another look at that string of 1-2s. Lovely return ball there from Lo Celso. Then he just goes diagonally across goal.
And it's a quick thinking that's able to get past Buffon for the opening goal of the match. And for Ever Banega, just his 6th goal for the Albiceleste. 80th minute. Chilly night in Manchester. Italy will stick around. Poor clearance out of the back as they look to try and get the equalizer. But reclaimed by Argentina. Perotti. Higuaín trying to flick the ball on, fouled by Bonucci, his former teammate. If you're Sampaoli, if you're Argentina, you do have a goal to the good now. But you also come away with a few concerns heading in towards the World Cup.
Oh, more than anything, Phil, I think you'll have a better understanding of some players that were on the fringes, some players that he wanted to see what could they deliver in the starting 11. Players like the young Paredes as a holding midfielder who I didn't think had a good performance. Lanzini, who drifted in and out of the game. And who knows, maybe because of a poor performance for a player on the fringes, maybe that opens up the door for Paulo Dybala. Again, I can't believe that this is something we're talking about.
Forward, but a good step up on this near side by Tagliafico.
Yeah. And there's the sort of run that Cutrone loves making on the shoulder of the last defender, always looking to peel off and get that through ball into space.
Figo again, not playing like a player that came in with just one cap. And now over to his former Independiente teammate Bustos, making his debut. Back across for Tagliafico. With the goal, spreading it around Argentina, trying to draw Italy out. Little gap for Tagliafico, drives inside. Biglia back. Lanzini. Perotti. Lanzini's been given a bit of free rein here today, left and right, now doubling up with Perotti on this left flank. Menega draws the foul. On the other side, well, this is just a friendly for Di Biagio. What was he trying to get out of this? What were the goals? What were the targets? And have they achieved them?
Oh, I think a revival for the Azzurri is the most important thing. A change of formation, going away from that old, tired 3-5-2 of Ventura, going to a 4-3-3 that I think gets the best out of key players in the midfield and in the wide positions, and also allowing the next generation of Italian internationals to really start making a name for themselves. Likes of Chiesa in the midfield. There's like Jorginho, who weren't really used too much in the old regime.
Well, we're approaching 300 minutes without a goal. The last time they found the net was against Albania. Now Argentina a little stiffer than Albania, but have they really answered much? They've given a few, as you said, opportunities to some new faces, but it hasn't cashed in yet. Biglia. Ball all the way across, but it does not stay in, and it looks like there will be a chance now for Italy to make one more change.
That's going to be Gallo Belotti, the rooster who hasn't oh, watch out.
That was moments ago, that little whoosh you heard from the crowd.
A bit of a lazy first touch there from Biglia, and this is something that we talked about. I've seen it with Milan time and time again this season when we're covering their games. Sometimes a bit lackadaisical, and in that position it can be suicidal.
Higuain with some space, early ball through, driven low, and a kick save to deny Perotti. Again Buffon to the rescue. Jorginho. Again back to the Mbitumba man. Overlap is on. Insigne just got away from him. And as he cannonballs into the Argentina defense, they steal it away and go the other way. Higuain help left and right. Draws the attention. Dishes for Lanzini. Oh, what a goal. Freezing Buffon and burying it near post. A debut goal. And he brings out the hammer.
With everyone forward for Italy, that defense stretched. A 3-on-2. Higuain with options to either side as he's going on the break. Lanzini's off to his left. He plays it in perfectly, but look at this hesitation right there. The hesitation just to try to get Buffon to cheat to one side, and then he tucks it near post. I think Buffon was looking for that ball to go across goal. But that hesitation right there, it's terrific work from the West Ham attacking midfielder.
And what is ŝrūgali doing?
Well, he's thinking that the shot's coming first time. And he was bamboozled just like Buffon. What a goal and what a way, as one of those fringe players, Phil, to really make a massive statement to Ｓᴟᴜ saying, take me to Russia.
First goal coming in the 75th, and ɪᴛ쏘ʟy's insertion has made an impact, and now a second from Lanzini, who, as we mentioned, has been mobile and dangerous.
Playing on both flanks, started off on the right, now popping up on the opposite side.
Trying to hustle back and win it. Belotti has come in. Would guess for Insigne. Well, Jorginho is the player that's come out. They've taken out a midfielder and stuck in another forward, because we all know how well the 4-2-4 has worked in the past for Italy.
Yeah, especially when you go to Spain and try to employ it against a five-man midfield, as Ventura learned the hard way.
It's a game of keep away now for Argentina. 3.5 minutes left in regulation. Ｓᴟᴜ, who again had 6 subs to use, is elected to go with only 3 at this point. Anything after this point is just time wasting if he elects to. And the full complement now done for Luigi Di Biagio. Next sub coming in for Argentina. Some help defensively as Gabi Mercado ready to check in. Rolled back for Biglia. Higuaín directing traffic. Would imagine the situation for Italy similar to that of the United States and other nations looking for a new coach, waiting till the World Cup is over. Higuaín, some fancy footwork, and uses his big body to some success against Belotti. Trying to sneak it in for the slashing Perotti, who comes back, but with the help of a foul. And it is Gabi Mercado getting set to check in.
Well, it's going to be a more defensive option at fullback. Mercado can play in a back 3 as one of the 3 center backs, but at Sevilla we've seen him as a fullback. He doesn't push as forward as the 2 that we saw today start from the first minute.
Bustos will come out after his debut, and the 21-year-old Independiente defender looked good.
Yeah, quite plucky as well. Always look to push forward.
Mercado.
2-goal advantage, Phil. No shame in bringing on Mercado, who is maybe a bit more disciplined defensively.
And also the age of 31, the experience and the willingness to be a player off the bench or in the starting lineup. A good clubhouse guy. Now for Italy, they do have those upcoming matches, not just the showdown at Wembley. There's the ball driven across for Bonucci. Saudi Arabia, France, and then the Netherlands, another team that is in a rebuilding mode before the World Cup gets underway and before the world restarts for Italy. At the moment, they're kind of stuck in purgatory.
That's a strange position to be in for the Azzurri.
Can they get a goal of honor here? Some consolation before they blow the final whistle. Desillo wins a throw in deep. Whipped up and driven over from distance.
Can't even imagine what it feels like to be essentially a glorified sparring partner. Not being able to go to Russia, No one's thinking about Euro 2020 next, which is the next major competition that Italy can partake in. Did quite well at the Euros with Antonio Conte as well. A lot better than what they showed at the World Cup 2 years prior to that. But with Conte in charge, Phil, I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of fans are calling out for him.
And that will do it. 90 minutes on the dot. Goals in the second half late. Banega with the first, and the debut goal for Lanzini. For Italy, well, they're still on the drawing board. For Argentina, they're one step closer to Russia. 2-0 the final at the Etihad. Well, what a way to make his debut appearance on the score sheet. Manuel Lanzini, the 25-year-old attacker. And Matteo, you look at what we've seen from Argentina today. Any questions answered? Any more raised?
Oh, you're always going to have the questions of who Sampaoli left at home, Phil. Especially Paulo Dybala, a player with his immense talent. That's going to certainly be a talking point to see what happens in the next coming weeks. Players like Lanzini now making a good case to be included. It's not going to start Lanzini, but maybe a spot on the bench. And for Italy, bit of a tough game to partake in, I'm sure. But a chance for them to just turn the page, turn the chapter, and give a chance to some of the up-and-coming stars who today just weren't able to be efficient in front of goal. That was the big difference in the end. Italy created the chances, but neither 꽞ᴟɪ or Immobile, who had great chances, could have done much with them.
Well, it was a moment to remember a leader passed. Davide Storey memorialized before the start of this one. Gigi Buffon not quite ready for the statue yet.
No, absolutely not. Di Maria with a brilliant match, a slight deflection from Florenzi, but Buffon made 3 brilliant stops.
Another one here as he gets down quickly to deny Otamendi.
Winning the ball in the air, and again, Buffon showing his dexterity, coming back from international retirement just to give one final swan song. Then in the 39th minute, another chance for Argentina. So they were just looking to find a way to break down this low block of Italy. It's a shot from distance, which just goes wide. It was Paredes, one of the first times that he did venture forward. He even had a nice bend to it. It was nearly swinging to the inside. Another chance here is that shot stings Buffon's gloves once again. Attacking from all sides, Argentina. Tagliafico had a good showing, getting forward from his fullback position, making the overlapping run, providing the width, and there with a side-footed effort, testing Buffon. Now here's Di Maria, who really was creative, and here finds Higuain, the teammate of Buffon. Another great stop. Argentina could have easily had a lead before the first half whistle. Take another look at that from Higuain. Bit of a narrow angle there, as he wasn't able to beat Buffon. Now we're in the 48th minute. A shocking giveaway from Paredes. Immobile tucks it back to find 꽞ᴟɪ. Maybe he loses his plant foot, but no excuses for the diminutive Neapolitan to not test Caballero from that position. Was perfectly onside. Defender got away from his as Otamendi had to put pressure on Immobile. Then in the 49th minute, Di Maria cross to the far post. The header just going above the crossbar from the eventual goal scorer, Manuel Lanzini, who in the end had a positive performance, especially in the second half.
Interesting thing we see there, maybe a sign of things to come in the game. Looks like a fitter Gonzalo Higuain leading the break.
Oh, he's been great all season long. This is another one of the chances we mentioned. Italy not being able to be efficient with the chances they had in front of goal. Great ball from Verratti, always waiting for Immobile to make that run, but Caballero very quickly off his line. 75th minute, Banega 1-2 with Lo Celso, gets the return ball, and he just passes it into the bottom corner. Finally, Argentina able to beat Buffon. Terrific work, though, from the man who came in, Banega, to make that forward run down the middle. 85th minute, Higuain leading the charge, a 3-on-2, looking around, options to the right and left. He picks out Lanzini, and take a look, hesitation right there, fakes the shot, freezes Rugani, and then he picks out that top corner at the near post to make it 2-0.
With that first give and go to start the goal for Banega, now finishes one from Higuain, and on a day where they did not even put Lautaro Martinez or Angel Correa on the field. A day they did not even dress Sergio Aguero or Lionel Messi. Argentina able to come away with a 2-0 win in Manchester against